Hello, my name is Kaintan Mounonier, and in this video I'm going to explain operating system visualization. Visualization is a word that is very common, especially currently when everything is going to the cloud, meaning that a whole lot of things that is being done on the local computer, on the desktop, everything is moved to the cloud. You can get word processing, spreadsheet, your files can be stored away in the server. Even application, instead of installing your system, you can just use them right there on the internet. So, but this is not what we are talking about here. What we are talking about here is operating system visualization. How do you visualize operating system? So, a little overview. It refers to the use of certain software to allow system hardware to run multiple instances of different operating systems concurrently, allowing you to run different applications requiring different operating systems on one computer system. The operating systems do not interfere with each other or the various applications. This creates illusion that the operating system is running on separate hardware machines. So what are we talking about here? We are saying that you have one single hardware machine, a server, let's say a HP ProLine server, and you're able to run 5 operating systems right on the server, even different versions. So you may have Linux, Ubuntu Linux running, you have Windows XP, you have Windows 7 running, you have Windows 8, you have some Mac also running right there on this single hardware machine. For the applications installed in these operating systems, they tend to see the operating system as if they are running on separate hardware machines. Meanwhile, you just have one single hardware server there. So I create this illustration to explain non-visual and visual operating system. So here is a non-visual. You have the hardware machine, have the kernel, let's say the OS here, and then you install your application, right? That's the normal thing we do. Buy a computer system, okay, a server, install Windows Server 2008. On top of Windows Server 2008, install Microsoft Exchange, or install whatever applications you want to use. So in the visual system, the situation is completely different. So on top of your hardware machine, okay, you have Visual Machine Manager. Okay, so this is a layer on top of the hardware. So on top of the Visual Machine Manager, you have Visual Machine. So you can create instances of hardwares. Okay, so take a look. Just a minute. So here you can have CPU, memory, and hard disk. Okay, so have CPU, memory, hard disk, CPU, memory, hard disk, CPU, memory, hard disk. Okay, so today's operating system is saying this visual machine like a physical, as if it's a complete server hardware machine, but it's just visual. So this guy here, the hardware, is divided into visual machines. So I hope it's clear. So in this way, you have applications and services installed on different visual machines, and they interestingly will not interfere with the operations of the other ones. So we have types of visualization. We have type 0, the hardware-based visualization. Okay, so they are called hypervisors, type 0 hypervisors. They provide for visual machine implementation via firmware and allow the visual machine to run on the core hardware. Okay, they are also referred to as native or bare metal hypervisors. What are we talking about? The hardware-based implementation means you have a hardware server, okay, then you install a hypervisor equivalent to the visual machine layer, and then you now create virtual machines, instances of virtual machines on top of the hypervisor. So this hypervisor layer is very thin layer on top of the hardware. So that is how it works. So you don't have a base operating system. So you have the IBM and Oracle implementations of these hypervisors. I think we have the VMware vSphere, or VMware ESXi. I think so. ESXi. Sorry about that. Okay, let's leave it. I don't know exactly. Let's just leave it complete. Okay, so have the operating system like software solution. Type 1 hypervisors have to be set up on existing operating system. So if you have a Windows computer and you want to run Linux, Ubuntu Linux on it, just grab a VMware, install this VMware on your Windows, and then install inside this VMware. You can now install or set up instances of virtual machine. So here the virtual machine, okay, runs on top like an application. So if you open the virtual machine, it's like an application. So inside it, then you have other operating system. That's what I mean by type 1 virtual machine. So what are the benefits of virtualization? The benefits of virtualization, I have outlined 4 of them. Virus in the guest operating system will not affect the host. Okay. Of course, you will know that this applies to the type 1, where you have a base operating system and you have operating system set up on a VMware. So the virus in the guest will not affect the base operating system, and virus in operating systems cannot be transferred to other operating system. They are completely abstracted from each other. We have the next one, the host operating system, okay, is protected from the guest. So if the guest crashes, the host is intact, nothing happens. Okay, so if one operating system crashes, the other one continues to function, and that's great. Then multiple operating systems can be implemented on one physical machine. You don't have to buy several servers for you to 7 or 8 servers for you to run 8 operating systems. You can just run different operating systems on one physical machine. Then we have cloud computing is made possible through virtualization. Here the CPU, memory, and hard disk are provided like services. So you may simply not even buy a server. It can be provided from the cloud as a service, and that's why we have software as a service, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service. I'm going to discuss this in my other video. Have challenges of virtualization. You have high risk of physical fault. So imagine you're running 10 operating systems on one physical machine, and just this physical machine crashes, everything goes. So high risk of physical fault. Then you have lower performance and non-visual system. Of course, you know that it's going to be slower when you run several operating systems just on one machine. Higher cost for you to implement a visual environment. You think of the cost. You have a certain complexity to do the configuration. It's not as easy as running a Windows 7 CD on your computer and just get it working. Then some hardware platforms doesn't support virtualization. So this is the most we can take for visualization course. I would like to thank you for viewing. My name is Kindson Munoye. I would like you to subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, tell me what you want me to discuss, and you can also share with your friends. And once again, I'd like to thank you for viewing.